It's nearly Christmas, which means, obviously, violent action thrillers. And boy, have I got a great trilogy to recommend to you to get in your Christmas stocking this year. Here's another edition of the Book Club at Christmas. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave Musson, at Dave Musson on Instagram, and normally this is where I talk to you about Stephen King, but in this spin-off series, this is where I recommend great books to you. Yes, this is the Book Club, and this is another festive edition, if you hadn't guessed by the title, or my jumper, or my hat. So in the Book Club, I bring books that I've enjoyed and give them to you as a recommendation for you to go read as well. And you'll get a synopsis, you'll get a bit about the author, you'll get my spoiler-free review, and I'll try and align them to a Stephen King book as well, so you've got that as a point of reference. Now in this episode, we're not just covering one book, not even two books, we're covering three books, an entire damn trilogy, so stick around to hear more about that. Before we get to that though, a couple of quick plugs. You can pick up my own collection of short stories, Once More Around the Sun. It won some awards this year, which made me feel very warm and fuzzy inside. People seem to like it. And you can become a member of this channel. Yes, you can become a constant viewer. You can get access to members only content, early access to regular videos, and a few other things as well. Check the link in the description if you're interested. So for this festive special of the Book Club, I'm going to be telling you about the Reindeer Games trilogy by AB Finlayson. Horror, comedy, action, reindeer, Santa, it's got it all. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, synopsis then. It's a trilogy, so I'll give you a bit about each book. So, Book 1, Reindeer Games. It is the night before Christmas, and not a creature is stirring, because Comet is dead, nailed to the door of the sleigh shed. This is a Christmas story, kind of. Well, it's set during the festive season, and it does feature Santa, the elves, and the reindeer, but it is certainly not a story to be read by a roaring fire on a cold winter's night. And neither should it be read to children, no matter how snuggled up and warm in their beds they may be. In fact, it's probably best you don't read it at all. That's a lie, by the way. You see, this is a Christmas story with a twist. Someone is murdering Santa's reindeer the night before Christmas Eve. There's a lot at stake. Can the big man put a stop to it before he loses anyone else? You actually will need to read it to figure that one out, but don't worry, it's not very long. And then, so Reindeer Games came out in 2022. 2023, we got Reindeer Games 2, Rain Harder, with a Vengeance. Terrorists have seized control of Knickerbocker Plaza and taken Santa hostage. One woman has had enough. She's alone, tired, and her husband is tied up in the office on Christmas Eve. It's time to fight. It's time to rain harder with a vengeance. Reindeer Games is back with all your favourite characters who didn't die in the first one, and this time it's personal. And then on to the new one, which at the time of this video dropping isn't even out yet. But the author was kind enough to let me have a read so I could review it here for the book club. It comes out on the 13th of December. Reindeer Games 3 is just called Sleigh. Get ready for the Christmas rush. Christmas is safe. Mrs. Claus brought down an entire terrorist cell and rescued her husband from the towering inferno of Knickerbocker Plaza. Now is the time for Santa to do what he does best, deliver the goods. But as Joy always say, Nick takes to the skies, the North Pole gets a chilling warning. There's a bomb on the sleigh, ho ho ho, enter Jack Frost, the nymph-loving Prince of Winter, with his own entries in both sections of the naughty and nice list. Partnered with Sandra, a fiercely determined rookie reindeer with dreams of pulling the sleigh, Jack hurtles into a chaotic quest through time warps, wormholes, and a nightmare-inducing sack of horrors. Can this unlikely duo save Santa and Mrs. Claus, defuse the bomb, and rescue Christmas? Or will the holiday season go up in flames along with everyone on the sleigh? Packed with bad taste jokes, twisted thrills, and more profanity than a drunk elf on Boxing Day, Reindeer Games 3 is a no-hold-barred comedy horror thrill ride that will leave you laughing, cringing, and questioning the sanity of everyone who recommends it. That's me. 'Tis the season to slay. Okay, and a bit about the author. So if you're a regular in the book club, the name AB Finlayson should be familiar to you because he wrote the brilliant Rock Zombie, which I featured a while ago. I'm just going to dig out the synopsis from there. So written in the first person, this is what I found that he wrote about himself online. I was born and raised in a small town in the north of England and slowly moved further away. Now I live in Australia, and that's probably far enough. I'm a teacher who loves to write, but I'd rather be a writer who loves to teach. When I'm not hanging around with my wife and kids or attempting to play guitar, I write stories I think people will enjoy reading. They're usually scary and a little bit silly. Okay, let's get into my spoiler-free review of this incredible trilogy, shall we? So let's start with Reindeer Games, the original one. And my pull quote from this: Santa Claus is coming to fuck you up, sunshine. Okay, you're interested now, right? So when a story starts with a beloved reindeer like Comet having been brutally slain, killed, but with a Santa pun in, you get it? And with his antlers being taken, and a die-hard reference to boot, you know this ain't your regular festive tale, okay? And so when Dasher very soon joins Comet on the Mortician's slab, lots of creatures are stirring and all bets are off, basically. So this Christmas adventure is fast-paced, has a high body count, is completely festooned with baubles, fairy lights, bad taste jokes, and just so much festive spirit. It's a joy. So we're following Santa as he tries to work out exactly what the hell's going on. Who's killing all the reindeer? Can he put a stop to it? And will he still get to deliver the presents on time on Christmas Eve? So this was a really fun read that had me guessing and gasping all the way through. And I loved the attention to the Christmas detail here, particularly Santa. Like Santa in this book, he's always checking things twice, obviously. His favourite phrase is, "You better watch out," obviously. And I just love how meticulous he is with the naughty and nice list. And he's got his priorities in order. Like dogs, he knows are good boys, always good boys. And well, he hasn't met my dog Floyd, but generally good boys. They're always on the nice list. Whereas cats, in Santa's own words, can usually be right bastards. So, you know. Oh, and I discovered in this book that it was actually Santa who helped Mr. Blobby get to the Christmas #1 spot here in the UK in 1993. And if that sentence sounds like I've just made something up or AI is taking over, then you clearly need to brush up on your British culture, you heathens. Anyway, this first one, pacing was great. The Christmasness was wonderful. The ending was satisfying and heartbreaking. Yeah, a new Christmas classic. Bring it on. Okay, let's get into the second book of the trilogy then. My pull quote is Santa is just Satan with a spelling mistake. So it's Christmas Eve again and Santa's in trouble again, but thankfully Mrs. Claus is around to help this time. So this sequel to Reindeer Games is everything you want from a sequel. It's bigger, it's bolder, it's funnier, a higher body count. It just delivers on every metric that you want to check it against. So if you've ever wondered, and I know it's something I have a lot of the time, if you've ever wondered what Die Hard would look like through the lens of being set in the North Pole with characters like Santa and the elves and reindeer and like more Christmas idioms than you ever thought imaginable, this is the novella for you. So as you know from the synopsis, terrorists have taken over Knickerbocker Plaza, which is Santa's new tower / penis replacement in the North Pole. Santa himself is all tied up. A lot of the reindeer are basically just waiting to become the next burger at your nearest Christmas market. And, well, things are going horribly wrong. It's going to be far from a silent night. But thankfully, as I said, Mrs. Claus is around to help on this one. And not only is she great at dealing with terrorists, by all accounts, she is super hot too. So this one was an absolute romp, and I loved it. And it's the little details again, the Jingle Bell knuckle dusters, the random 2 turtle doves that get killed, and the fact they got me questioning, like, why is Santa so judgmental with his naughty and nice list? Like, who made him God? Huh? Oh, and the cliffhanger at the end of this to tee up number 3. Oh yeah, loved it. Okay then, on to the new one, on to Reindeer Games 3. And my pull quote is a long one, so I'm going to read this off the screen for you. I'm going to kill Santa, I'm going to take the North Star, and I'm going to make Christmas great again. You should write that on a hat. Okay, so as you know from the synopsis, there's a bomb on the sleigh, and my God, do you think that Mrs. Claus could just for once have a normal Christmas? So this third installment literally picks off where the second one did on a massive cliffhanger. And it's great, you're straight into the action. So in this one, we push to the forefront Jack Frost and a new character, Sandra the reindeer, who catch up to the sleigh and try and put themselves forward as potential heroes to save the day. While back in the North Pole, the CIA, that's the Christmas Intelligence Agency, of course, they're trying to work out who is behind this dastardly, seemingly never-ending scheme to destroy Christmas. So as with the other two entries in this, I had a great time with this, and I'm so impressed at how the author is able to keep churning out the pop culture references throughout this book. It's like a selection box of them. The ones that particularly caught my eye in this one, I loved the little nods to The Exorcist, to The Shining in particular, and there was a great homage to Black Christmas as well. Just top stuff. So in this one, the action comes thick and fast. The gore is wet and gloopy. And once again, we're treated to this author's signature style of having you laughing while also flinching and being scared, and just having everything you could want in that delicious Christmas mix that will, any horror fans with a good sense of humour who rightly know that Die Hard and Die Hard 2 are both Christmas movies. I mean, you can't go wrong with this book. The third one, the second one, the first one, the entire damn trilogy. Okay? Ask Santa for it right now. Okay, so trying to align this to a Stephen King book then. Under the Dome with Reindeer? Yeah, let's go with that. Cool. So to sum up, this entire trilogy is just great, and it lets you know exactly what will happen if you go rummaging in Santa's sack. Now, viewers, just don't, okay? It's really not worth it. But what is worth doing is getting this entire trilogy on your Christmas wish list right now. The first two are already available, and Slay, Reindeer Games 3, comes out on the 13th of December, Friday the 13th of December, of course, and you absolutely need to read all of them. And I think you'll have a lot of fun with them. And thank you to the author for letting me have a copy of the third one before anyone else, so I can bring it to you here at the book club at Christmas. Okay, there we go. Another festive treat for you. Do let me know if you like the sound of this trilogy. Trust me, it's great. You will have such a good time with it. I really think you should check it out. And if you do go and read it, make sure you review these books on Amazon and on Goodreads, and then rave about them on your own social media channels and tell other people to get them on their Christmas wish list as well. And other things you can do, you can check out my collection of short stories, you can become a member of this channel, become a constant viewer, and, well, more than anything else, you can just have yourself a lovely time checking out the playlists for the rest of the book club to see what else I've recommend. And you say, what elves then? I'm so Christmassy now, I just can't stop saying Christmas stuff. Check out the playlist. I need to stop talking now because I'm tripping over my words. Read this trilogy. It's great. And Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.